Hey everybody, I hope you are doing amazingly. I hope 2024 is starting out with you on a wonderful note and will continue to do so. Welcome to your first pick a card reading of 2024. I am doing this because, as many of you know, we have a new moon in Capricorn coming up on January 11th. Capricorn being my sun sign, so I must admit I'm a little excited about this one. But thinking about the things that Capricorn in general represents. We think about ambition, we think about our goals, we think about perseverance. One of my favorite images, I don't have it to show you handy, but it's a mountain goat that, when they climb up those really steep, almost vertical mountains, and you'll see them, they take their time going up the mountain goats. It is a fascinating thing to see, just, from a physics perspective, I guess, just how they are able to do that. But that is the spirit of Capricorn energy. It's I will get there one way or another and digging in. So, across the board for all of us, this new moon in Capricorn represents a time that, when we're setting our intentions, when we're thinking about goals, right? Ambitions, desires that we want to attain, it is a really good time to focus in on what that is going to take and make sure that we're very clear about it, because when we get a little iffy, the universe can, it can delay things in the universe. All right, so we're going to go right in. I have 4 catalyst cards, so I've got 4 piles in front of me. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you like and subscribe. Please do. When I do pick a cards, just to save time, so you're not sitting there for 10 minutes watching me, shuffle cards, I pull them ahead of time, but I do not see anything until I'm ready to interpret for you. All right. So the only thing I've seen are these 4 leader cards or catalyst cards. And these are going to be, you're going to pick one, maybe more than one, follow your intuition, your spirit, and get the message from it. So here's pile number 1, the message that came for you. The question for this new moon in Capricorn says, am I on the right path? Am I on the right path? All right, that's pile number 1. For pile number 2, it is, the catalyst says, what are the dominant emotions that run my life? Ooh, that's a thick one. What are the dominant emotions that run my life? I'm sorry for that ring light, you all. I'm trying to do my best. All right, that's pile number 2. What are the dominant emotions that run my life? For pile number 3, it is, your catalyst says, what am I looking for outside myself that is already within me? Ooh, that's deep. What am I looking for outside myself that is already within me? All right, that'll be pile number 3. And pile number 4, short but quite interesting. Am I willing? All right, am I willing? Pile number 4. Okay, so we're going to go in and see what your messages are, and see, how you can dig into those prompts that pulled you in relation to this new moon in Capricorn. And again, this is a really important new moon because it sets the tone for your intentions. This is that time, New Year's, many of us, we set new goals, whether it's, lose that 10 pounds, or clean up the diet, or exercise more, or read more books, or, just become better, right? Launch that business, really get back to that project that we put aside, or develop a new project. Just, it's a really good time. I think collectively we all start to think about what we can do and what we want to see manifest in the year ahead. So for those of you, we're going to go in. For those of you who chose pile number 1, which was, am I on the right path? Let's see what you got. I'm excited. All right. Let's see. When I flow with my energy, I flow with the energy of life. Show that to you. When you flow with your energy, you flow with the energy of your life. We've got the 6 of Pentacles. I'm going to get them all down on the table, and then I'll show them to you. 6 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups. So the number 6 is coming in pretty interestingly for you all. We have reincarnation. We have a cat. We have dissolution, emotional clearing. Interesting. Gonna get to that. We have the 10 of Cups. It's in the astrological deck, the North Node, your life's purpose. Am I on the right path, right? Love it. Spirit's giving confirmation for the topic of this pile. We have repression. May have to deal with that a little bit in terms of your life path. We have your knowledge, building knowledge. And finally, we have a falling angel, spiritual narcolepsy. Some of you may have stepped up, taking your foot off the gas a little bit as it pertains to your spiritual growth. And that's fine. And that could also be why we've got repression that came up for you, pile number 1. All right. Because it could be there's something you're not pushing, I don't even want to say spirit saying it's not about pushing, but it is about remaining open, and being aware and being conscious that every day of every year, not just this year, it is, we are, if you're living your life purpose, am I on the right path? Then that requires staying in tune to your spirit guides, your spirit team, your higher self. And so something has repressed that. I'm gonna hone in on that in a moment. Emotional clearing. That's important for you. So basically, I can tell from the way these cards have fallen and come for you, pile number 1, your central question, am I on the right path? The answer is yes, you are. However, you've questioned that. It looks like there's been some questioning of that. And there's been some I feel like taking that repression is really sticking with me. Taking your foot off the gas a little bit. 6 of Pentacles and 6 of Cups. Let's go with these 2 tarot that came for you. With the 6 of Pentacles, this one, the 6 of Pentacles, it is a give and take. This is give and take between you and your spirit team. This is you applying yourself to stay on your path. It is, what courses are you taking? What are you reading? What practices are you doing? Physical practices, whether it's meditation, channeling, using your tools. If you, like me, you like tarot or oracles, or Reiki, energy movement. What are you doing? Because with that, again, with the 6 of Pentacles, it is a give and take. It is opportunities that come to you, but also then you sharing what you get in return, keeping it's very reciprocal, right? Even exchange. And that came again with the 6 of Cups, which is happiness. Feeling good about yourself, feeling good about the decisions that you're making in regards to your path and being on the right path. I feel for some of you as well, one of the reasons why we even get to the point where we question, am I on the right path, is because of the environment around us and the people around us. And I'm definitely getting a hit from spirit that for some of you, when you are questioned by those whose opinions matter to you, it kind of hits home. If you feel like you're being challenged, if well, what is this that you're into these days, or are you sure you know what you're doing? Are you sure you want to get that reading from that person or take that workshop with that person? Are they legit? Are you trusting? It makes you sort of go, wait a minute. I thought I knew what I was doing. I thought I was certain about the path I'm on, but for some of you, the opinions of others really does matter, and that can contribute to that repression, and that also contributes to that emotional clearing that I'm seeing for some of you, where if you have taken, if you have really been, for the best reasons, sought out the counsel of others, or watched the opinions of others, or even paid attention to the trends that are happening in metaphysical studies, etc., then that could, on the one hand, you are a person who seeks knowledge. I just looked down and saw that and honed in on that, the air spirit, which is knowledge. So you are a person who, in the effort to understand and stay on your life path, you do seek knowledge. Maybe you are someone who really enjoys taking workshops, learning from others, attending groups, doing retreats. Maybe you spend a lot of time, surfing YouTube for different topics that interest you. And all of that is beautiful. But it's also saying, just make sure that you are learning to tune into your own knowledge of your life purpose, right? Your soul's purpose. That following your north node. For those of you who have your natal chart or who know a little bit about astrology, definitely understanding your north node and its placement. And if you have a transit chart, that would be really important for you all at this time, because your north node did come up, all right? Because that is about your life purpose. And it reminds you. So if you look at your chart, and you hone in on, the indicators of what your life purpose is, what you are moving toward in this lifetime, then that will help answer some of that. Am I on my right path, right? Because you'll know energetically This is what I'm meant to do. This is a part. Say just for instance, if you have a north node in a sign like Taurus or a sign like Capricorn. Let's go with Capricorn since it's a new moon. So a north node in Capricorn, meaning a part of your life purpose has to do with understanding the principles of Capricorn: stability, structure, ambition, attaining goals, learning, and knowledge. Very much tied to Capricorn, because that is one of the keys to success in whatever endeavor. So that would be, if you see yourself doing those things, then that gives you the hint. Yes, I am on my life's path. Or that repression, I've taken my foot off the gas, that spiritual narcolepsy. And this also could indicate that for some of you, Capricorn energy can tilt into so busy about the business of things, the details, that the spiritual component of it can get pushed back, and it almost becomes very your goals and things, the way you're living on a day-to-day basis, can be very mechanical, can be very, I do this. That's how I do, that's how I'm living my life. And that spiritual aspect of it, of, feeling good, feeling connected, feeling on purpose, understanding, having your heart full, having your soul fed. That is very important for you all. Reincarnation comes up for you as well. Perhaps many of you have thought about your Akashic records in terms of, am I on my life path? Many of you could have had Akashic records readings, or things where you have studied your soul, past life regression, even for some of you, but you've been very interested in your soul's journey. It's not just about what you're learning in this lifetime, what you're doing in this lifetime, but for you, you like to put the pieces together. You understand that if you had these tendencies or these events happened for you in prior lifetimes, then that would help you understand your life path in this lifetime. So reincarnation, perhaps if you haven't tapped into that, for some of you, this could be a message from spirit that would be helpful for you to get you to make sure you come out of that spiritual narcolepsy, if that's been affecting you, or that sense of repression. I feel like I know what I should be doing, but I'm not so sure. So there's that repression. The issue of reincarnation, past life regression, Akashic records could be very helpful for you. Taping this early in the morning, my voice is just getting going. All right. Let me see if there's any other messages. Oh, and this other card that came, I didn't bring it back up for you. When I flow with my energy, I flow with the energy of life. Now, you did get a cat, by the way. And it says a two-faced friend. I'm gonna object to that. No dissing the creator of this. For some of you, it could be spirits tapping me on the shoulder like, slow down, Afefe. I said what I said, or this says what it says. So for some of you, when I think about the idea that this repression, Spirit had said earlier, if you are someone who's been seeking out the counsel of others and really leaning in maybe too heavily even on other people's opinions of your path and the decisions that you're making, then yes, this could be a bit of a warning that, somebody's being catty with you. Somebody could be a little competitive with you. Somebody could, on the face of it, really respect and admire your spiritual gifts and your life path and what you're doing, your ambition, your achievements, but giving you that little, as they say, throwing shade, right? So there could be that element as well. The other part of it is where I started to go with it, and Spirit was like, no, do caution you that there could be people smiling in you, smiling at you in one way, but secretly like, who do they think they are, kind of thing. And you'll be able to distinguish that. But also because I love cats and I'm really into the feline energy, this for me reminds me of the divine feminine, and to the extent that this repression has to do with not trusting your own ability to create in the way and nurture in the way that the divine feminine does, then let's take a good look at that and course correct that energy. All right. So moving forward, I'm going to ask for a message for you moving forward. What do you need to do? What does pile number 1 need to do to stay on their path? Because again, you are on your right path. I think the overwhelming answer here is yes, you're on your right path, but something is deterring you, something slowing you down. And I feel like it's more this spiritual narcolepsy. So basically for you, the key is, while Capricorn energy in general it's an earth energy. It is being about your business. It is about that day to day thinking practically. But your spiritual side is calling you. It is that, and the more you wake that up and the more you tune in to feeling good with your soul, with yourself, your inner power, your inner self, then that feeds into what you are able to do in your day to day life, in manifesting, excuse me for that. All right, any last messages for pile number 1 and how they can stay on their path? Awakening, judgment. Wow. Awakening. And you have the 8 of emotions or 8 of cups. So moving past anything that represses you. Repression is definitely a key word for you all. Anything or anyone. And I also got that number 22 they're telling me to point out for you, if that pings any of you. All right, moving away. Moving on, having the emotional intelligence and the wherewithal to move on from anything that is holding you back. And there is an awakening that you all are undergoing, pile number 1. An awakening in terms of understanding that you can trust yourself, that your path is meant to be distinct. It may coalesce with that of others as you take classes, as you bond, as you participate in spiritual communities, even here on this platform. But it is also understanding and accepting the fact that your path is unique, and that in order for you to continue to achieve it in a very Capricorn, hands-on, ambitious, focused manner, your spiritual side is equally as important. That is your gas. That's your fuel tank. All right? All right. I love that message for you all. So now we're going to move on to pile number 2. And those of you who got, what are the dominant emotions that run my life? What are the dominant emotions that run my life? Pile number 2. Experiencing life as it comes, a bit of a drifter. So yes, that would be a question for you. You may be in a place where you're trying to find that focus, new moon in Capricorn. You're really trying to find that focus. A foggy bog. You're needing patience. Yes, confirmation. Pile number 2, you all are definitely going through a period of transition. Things may not feel crystal clear to you, but there's some purpose in that for you. That's not all a bad thing. We have anger for you all. And it could be that part of why you're in that fog, or in that, that requiring patience right now, is because you're still processing some element of anger. The 11th house, your friends. That could be where some of you are, there could have been some falling out during the holidays, I'm feeling, for some of you. There could have been some disappointments and closing out 2023 in ways that didn't meet your expectations, or you didn't understand why things went the way they did. You may have expected certain people to act a certain way, or somebody let you down in some way, but there's something prompting that anger, and it is around your friendship group / it could even be your family group. Venus shows up with you with love and abundance. All right now. So the emotion of feeling abundant and loved is crucial to you all, pile number 2. I mean, we all like it. That's practical sense, right? But for you, it's a motivating factor. We are talking about a new moon in Capricorn. Capricorn being that, that motivation, that desire, that ambition, that determination to do whatever needs to be done. Those mushy, love things, Venus. For some of you, if Venus is your ruling planet, some of you could be Taurus or Libra, or have Taurus or Libra sun, moon, or rising, or be involved with someone of those signs. But the emotional component of your life, feeling loved, feeling abundant, that is very crucial to you. That is what gets you moving. You have an apple. Temptation will test you. That's really interesting. Temptation will test you. This could be in your relationship sector. For some of you, this new moon in Capricorn could have you really thinking about, because what are the dominant emotions that run my life? Are your emotions being satisfied in your current relationships? And therefore, there could be some temptation around you in your mind, in your inner recesses, that are thinking about, what else can I do about that? What are my options if your emotional needs are not being met? We have the Tempest. Let me show you that. So all of that energy, sort of that electromagnetic energy going through you, the Tempest, that's that temptation as well. You are part number 2, and of course that's why you picked that catalyst. What are the dominant emotions that are running your life? Well, we've got some anger here that came out point blank, but 9 of Swords and the World. And through meditation, I see clearly beyond the veils of illusion. Pile number 2, now that I've got all the cards on the table in front of me, you all are at a tipping point of deciding whether how you are currently operating in a relationship, in a job as well. This is not just romantic relationships, but anything that could provoke your anger, the people who could provoke your anger, the situations where you may feel you're being treated unfairly, and that's provoking your anger, and it's got you tempted to do something else. There's that Tempest. I'm really drawn, to the combination of the energy of these 2 cards. One talked about, an apple meaning a symbol of temptation, and the other one being the actual tempest. Those are the emotions around this anger. And I think what's causing that dominant emotion right now of anger or tempest or being stirred up in some way that's making you, it's making you want to make change at whatever cost. Because I've got the World and the 9 of Swords as the 2 tarot cards that came up for you. So the 9 of Swords, for me, feels like this is you going over and over and over in your mind whatever is bugging you. Whether it is that relationship, that person, that job situation, whatever is making you dissatisfied with life, or where you feel like the other person or the situation is not coming through in the way that you deserve. Because I do feel for some of you, this is a sense of, I deserve better. I've done my best. And so where's my payback? Why is this person not giving me, what I deserve? Or why is the job not giving me the promotion, the breaks? Why am I not getting the jobs that I'm out here applying for? Why are my projects, if you're an entrepreneur, why are my projects not taking off? There's a sense of being let down, perhaps by those you thought were going to help you, but there's the World. And the World says, hang in there, because you are going to, with this foggy bay, that patience, you're in a waiting period. And that stork is representing change, by the way. There is change coming. There is change for you on the horizon. It is coming. And you just can't see it clearly yet. That's why you've got a sun there, that's saying, hey, something's coming and it's going to be good. You're going to have the revelation you need, but there's that fogginess around it. You just can't see it just yet. So you're in this, one leg up, in this poised and ready to go, but it's just not happening for you yet. Spirit is saying, please be patient. And in the meantime, experience life as it comes. Don't let yourself feel stuck, because then you put this abundance and love and abundance. You slow it down. You don't stop it, but you slow it down, which then it feeds the cycle of anger, of frustration, because that's what that 9 of Swords is speaking to. There is that sense of angst. When will this stop? When will it get better? When will I see, the results? Some talk about a new moon in Capricorn. It is about having solid, demonstrable results from your relationship. Is it going to grow? Is it going to get me where I need? All of this work that I'm putting in, when do I get my reward? And I think for some of you, again, right now, that dominant emotion that's running your life is the some latent anger. I feel like for some of you, even, you may be feeling a little resistant to this anger. Like, I didn't think I was mad, or I haven't been walking around stomping and slamming doors. But anger can also take the form of sort of repressed or subconsciously, you find yourself getting a little moody or a little snappy or even a little frustrated with yourself that things are not going faster. That is a lot of the emotion that is running through you and coursing through you at this time. I want to see what Spirit says about how you stay even, how you have that patience we saw, and how you move on out of this tempest. Remember that tempest. How you move on out of that tempest. Now, part of the answer they're showing me, bringing me back to this card. Through meditation, I see clearly beyond the veils of illusion. So for many of you, this time of patience is meditation. And keep in mind, too, I am guilty of this, you all. Maybe some of you. I'm not the best meditator. Just to really close my eyes and get into a space of nothingness. My mind gets busy, right? Many of us experience that. But there are many forms of meditation. You can do walking meditation, where you are still stimulated in some way, but it calms you. You can do a labyrinth if you have access to that. You can do music, really soft, sound therapy as a form of meditation. It makes you feel occupied in some way, but it also helps redirect your brain into that meditative state. All right. So just think about that for those of you who are like, oh, great, here goes another recommendation to meditate. Beautiful. But just think about your options of how you can actually put yourself into a more meditative state. So that is how you adjust your emotions, is meditation. I feel like I still want to pull one more card for you. The Sun. I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I did. The Sun, pile number 2. The dominant emotion right now may again have a lot to do with repressed anger or anger that you recognize. It could have a lot to do with impatience, because I'm thinking of and in relation to love and abundance. For some of you, this could be you've been going through a time where having love in your life, having romantic love, feeling loved by your family, your friends. Some of you could be going through still periods of deep isolation and feeling cut off in some ways. And so it's sort of built up. That's that tempest that we saw, that energy's just been coiling up and building up within you. And that temptation, there may be some of you could have had a temptation to act out of anger, or to act impulsively, to speak impulsively, to do something that ultimately is not, it's going to do more harm than good. It may give you that temporary satisfaction of, I'm going to give them a piece of my mind, or I'm going to quit this job, or I'm going to do whatever, whatever that temptation is, because that's the emotion that's driving you. But Spirit is saying, if you only utilize that meditation, calm yourself down, and put yourself into that meditative state of patience and experiencing life as it comes. That's another way of saying be in the moment, be present, slow it down. Take a beat, count to 10 before you speak, before you express that anger, and understand that love and abundance is coming for you. Remember too, you got the world. So you're going into a new chapter. We're at the start of 2024. This is that new moon in Capricorn, first new moon of the year. So there is something new coming for you. There is a new chapter, and it will lead to success. It will lead to fun. It will lead to the sun that was foggy in this image of patience, waiting on it to happen, is now shining bright. Clear message. Clear message, right? All right, pile number 2. So basically, the bottom line for you all is being aware of the dominant emotion. And if there is this frustration / anger / anxiety that is really ruling you at this time, it is your predominant energy, it's your predominant vibration. Spirit is saying, put yourself into a more meditative state and deliberately exercise the patience, knowing that they've shown you've got this love and abundance coming toward you. You've got that sun that capped your reading. So you are headed there, but you've gotta put yourself, for you all, it's really important to adjust your vibration. If you're in that state of tempest, if you're in that state of agitation, that sun is going to stay foggy longer. All right. And then you have to exercise more patience to get to where you want to go. So it's for you, it's about regulating your energy, being conscious of it and regulating your energy and keeping your vibration to one of calm. Get rid of that tempest, get rid of that anger, and get yourself back into a state of calm. Calm is your superpower. And I've seen that. That's actually a saying, right? Calm is your superpower. And when you get yourself into that state, that's when the love and abundance and the sun starts to shine bright. All right? Okay. I love that for you. All right, we're going to move on now to pile number 3. And those of you who were drawn to, what am I looking for outside myself that is already within me? What am I looking for outside myself that is already within me? Wow, that's powerful. This is going to be powerful. We have beginner's mind, first breath. We have success. We have a spiritual message. We have a grand trine of blessings. Woo! Pile number 3. Come through. We have soul ascension. You all are, many of you are really spiritual heavy hitters. You're definitely, you're not new to this life. You've been doing this a while. You are healers. You are, some of you are in business for yourselves, or you've been thinking about going into business for yourselves. I'm sorry, let me slow down. Spirit's like, Afefe, get the cards down before I start interpreting. All right, we have a nest. Ooh, so you're building something. We have protection. We have the 2 of Wands, the Chariot, and I use my emotions to fuel my path. Wow. First thing Spirit wants you all to know, pile number 3, you chose, what are you looking for outside yourself that is already within you? Power. 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 Pile number 3, you all have enormous power. You have enormous, you are tapped in. You, again, I get the sense that many of you have studied spiritual dynamics, spiritual modalities for a long time. You understand them. Or if you are newer to it, you're somebody who goes all in. You're not a dilettante. You know, you don't play and just sort of, this isn't a joke to you. Your spiritual path, your spiritual life, your desire for personal growth and development, it is truly a passion of yours, and you dedicate yourself fully, earnestly, and authentically to that path. That I have to say off the top. You are ascending. And you've got a plan to do that. That 2 of Wands is being very focused about what you're doing, about how you apply your energy, about what you see yourself wanting to do in the future. Talking about new moon in Capricorn, first new moon of 2024. An emotionally secure and loving family is important to you, and I use my emotions to fuel my path. Those 2 are calling me together because it's showing that this is a time for you all. Building family, building security in your relationships is very important, and that could be why you tend to look for the things that you are trying to achieve. You feel like you have achieved them once you see the evidence of them around you. So in other words, if your family is doing well, if you're a parent and your family, your children are doing well, then that makes you feel like you've done your job as a parent. If you are a lover and your or spouse and your partner is doing well, then that makes you feel like that is a reflection of you and your role. You have done well. And Spirit is saying that's fine. No objection to that. But there's also, they want you to understand that the root cause of those things going well has a lot to do with you. You are the catalyst. You are what starts that. You are a dynamic that, because of your relationship to these other things, the job, the family, the kids, the pets, etc. When you touch your communities, when you bring your essence into the equation, that is what helps boost it, because you are powerful. You have a beginner's mind. And I love that because it says basically you are curious. You are always studying. You are always learning. You are always ready to do more, feel more, know more. Your first breath could also be that you are thinking at this time, new moon in Capricorn, beginning of 2024, of okay, what's next on my path of soul ascension? What else? I've mastered this, that, or the other, or I feel like I know a great deal about it, and now I'm ready for something more. I'm ready for something that really gets me going. There is a sense of protection around you, and I think this is versus a caution where you are in need of protection. Spirit is saying the guides are coming through, your guides are coming through to say you are protected. So to the extent that you're thinking about or considering this next level of study, this next stage of growth, I feel like for some of you, you are thinking about going public more so. If your spiritual path and if the work that you're doing has been some sort of like a hobby almost, or only known within a certain group of people, there's something that's going to be prompting you to go big, go big or go home, to be more open with it, to share it more, to do more with it. I've got the Chariot here. This was your other tarot card alongside that two of wands. So there's that focus, and there's the Chariot. The Chariot also ruled by Cancer. And what does Cancer do? Cancer is always about the family. Cancer is always about the love and the nest, the family home, the security, the protection, feeling protected, feeling secure. So for you all, there is such a pull in your consciousness to make sure that your home is safe, that your loved ones are safe, that your family is your nucleus. It is what you feel very protective over. And Spirit is coming with that sign of protection to say, it's okay. That's there. If you needed a confirmation or you needed a sign, this is it. It is okay. Your family is protected. Now you've got all of these blessings that are coming. Look, blessings with them. I have to hold these three up together. You've got your spiritual message of a grand trine, blessings, and success. I'm going to hold those up for you. All right. There's your success. There's your blessings, your grand trine, everything lining up, everything coming the way that it needs to for your success. And that is your spiritual message from this reading. But also I'm sensing Spirit is saying you're going to receive more spiritual messages. They want you to open yourself to it. Some of you are psychic. And they say we're all psychic to some extent, right? But some of you are really being pulled more to expressing psychic mediumship, testing yourself, learning to deliberately putting yourself in situations, maybe taking a class, maybe working informally with partners to do psychic readings, to see what sorts of hits and impressions that you're getting. But this is a goal. It's a quest that you're on. New moon in Capricorn. It's something that you have decided to do as a part of your soul's ascension. But you want to feel safe doing it. That's the thing for you all, pile number 3. Safety and also the opinion of your family, those that you care about, those that you protect, is really important for you. And again, going back to your catalyst, what are you looking for outside yourself that is already within you? For some of you, it is recognizing that for all of your teachers, and you must, I highly encourage you, always respect anyone who has opened a door for you, who has taught you, who has been there for you, who has mentored you, your teachers, your guides, etc. Always remember to express gratitude and humility, no matter how much you grow in your power and your knowledge. But always humble yourself to that, because they are the people that the universe put in your path to assist and help you get to where you are. That said, there are many of you who chose this pile. What you're looking for outside of yourself that's already within you, there is a level of achievement. New moon in Capricorn. There is a level of achievement. There is a level of knowing there is a level of being ready to move beyond what you have been doing and go and really step into your success, step into the blessings that are awaiting you and coming for you, and also the blessing that you are able to be to others by using your knowledge, using your skills, showing up and showing what is within you, sharing what is within you, finding the courage to share what is within you. And that beginner's mind, that first breath. This is the start of something for many of you who chose this pile. You are thinking of starting something, or you will start something. New moon in Capricorn. You're going to start a business, or start a blog, or start a newsletter, or start a group, an informal group, start a Zoom group, start, go to a local shop or community center. It doesn't even have to be spiritually oriented, I'm hearing. But whatever it is, that it could be crafts making, it could be arts, it could be some social cause, but it is whatever it is that really is pulling and calling your soul at this time, that spiritual message that you either have gotten or will be getting. It is about moving into that, knowing that it's not just about what you see and observe when you enter the room, when you have these interactions and you're finding your place within that setting. That's looking, that's what's around you. But it is about walking into the room prepared to show up and be prepared to share and own who you are. And feel good about who you are, moving into who you are with that Chariot. A knowing that you have ascended, that you are no longer a novice, but you are ready to begin a different path, a different roadway to your success. All right? I'm going to pull a couple of cards, or one card at least, they're saying to close out. So what's already within you is your power. I'll end it it is your power. And it is power that has accumulated because of your studies, because of your willingness to grow. And it is the power that you have to affect those around you that you love. You are the security. You are the stability. You are the motivating force. You are the one that others turn to. You are the linchpin and the key to others' success. And that then in turn spurs your own. We have the 9 of Swords that came reversed. So I think Spirit is just saying, don't worry. And we have the 10 of Wands. Yes. So for some of you who chose this pile, your tendency in terms of, looking outside of yourself versus what is within you is that you have been in situations where you feel the need to protect, especially in the family, especially those you care about, or your job, your project, your business. If you are in business for yourself, you feel tremendously responsible to own that, to take care of that, to manage that, to make sure that everything is being taken care of the way that it should. But it can sometimes be a little bit much. That 9 of Swords, it can tip you over into a place of anxiety. And then that in turn makes you look outside of yourself for what the solutions are, because you're feeling a little overburdened or overwhelmed. And Spirit is saying, when you get that way, tap back into the spirit of protection. Tap back into knowing that they are with you and that you are sitting in a state of blessings. You are on your path of soul ascension. You are doing what you were called to do in this world. And you are a necessary component in much of the goodness that you see around you. You are a necessary component of that. All right? Power lies within you, pile number 3. I hope that pings, because that was sure there for you. All right, and finally we're going to move on to pile number 4. The last pile says your catalyst is, am I willing? Am I willing? Let's see what you're willing to do. Pile number 4, am I willing? We have the wall, obstacles. So there's something you got to get through, freedom, and the freedom to do what it is that you're you're wondering if you're willing to do. A message of freedom. Whoa, okay, let's pump brakes for a minute. You all know how I am about going to different decks because that's how spirit speaks through me. I see commonalities, I see themes that emerge. Don't even have to squint too hard to see this theme. You have from one deck the message of freedom, and then boom, freedom here. So freedom. Are you willing to be free? Your catalyst question. Am I willing? Freedom definitely comes up right away as a major topic here for you. Creativity. Ooh, what are you trying? What? Your higher self. Huh. A feather. Messages from the other realm through feathers. If many of you or some of you find feathers, pay attention to that. That is your spirit team. Meander, the freedom to meander. So you're feeling tied up with something and you want to be able to meander. Look at that pathway even. Just go. Just see what's ahead. Move towards the sun. You want to be free. The Hanged Man, obstacles. There's something holding you back. The Ten of Wands, feeling overwhelmed, overloaded. I release negative thoughts about myself and my life. I'm going to hold that up. Look at that bright, bright light coming from that solar plexus. I release those negative thoughts about myself and my life. All right. Clear message going on here for those of you who chose pile number 4. Am I willing? There is something that you are going through, pile number 4, that's got you stuck, or you feel like you're stuck. It's a situation. It feels like it's been long term. For some of you, this, some of the clear things that we all go through at some time is, relationships that we've stayed in, or we feel like we have to stay in, even though they're not necessarily satisfying. And that can be personal relationships. It could be a job. It could be a friendship group that you've outgrown, or person you've outgrown, etc. But there's some sort of obstacle. There's something that's held you in a space of, I see it, but I don't know what to do about it. And so you've just been feeling stuck, that hangman. And that stuck is been giving you time to examine what the heck this is about. Why is that obstacle there? But because you haven't been able to change it, that person's behavior hasn't changed. The doors haven't opened. The money hasn't been flowing in. The ideas, the creativity, etc. Whatever it is that you've been craving, it just seems like it's not budging. And so there's a part of you, your higher self, multiplication. I find that really interesting. That's the key word that comes, multiplication from your higher self. So your higher self is saying, I want more. I want more out of this life, out of this relationship, out of this job, this career, this everything. I want more. And your key to more is creativity. You want more creativity. You want more ability to feel like you can create the world that you want. And meander and go discover. For some of you, there's really a call to travel. I mean, that's sort of an obvious thing that I'm seeing here. The eagle spirit, if you've been seeing eagles, or if you do see an eagle, pay attention to that. That would be a sign from the guides right now for you, or in the coming months for you. Pay attention to that. But there's this message of freedom and wanting to meander. If you've been isolated for one reason or another, pile number 4, are you willing to break out of that box? And I think Spirit is saying, yes, you are willing to do it. However, your key to it is to deal with what's holding you back. To really release those negative thoughts. I can't. It costs too much. Somebody's going to have something to say about it. I want to avoid the argument, or I don't want the tension, or I don't want the judgment, or I don't want to hear what somebody else is going to have to say. And so those are the rationale, those are the excuses we have to keep us in that state of feeling stuck. But are you willing to come out of that state? I think Spirit is saying, yes, you are willing, but for you, it's understanding what is at stake in order to make this move. Your freedom is what is at stake. Your creativity is what is at stake. Moving into your higher self is what is at stake. Queen of Swords. So really deciding, making some decisions and controlling your thoughts and emotions. Pile number 4, are you willing to let go? And for some of you that's easier said than done, because whatever this dynamic is, if it's the relationship, the marriage, the spouse, the partner, the job, the kids, whatever's built up this pattern over a period of time, it's not easy to, oh, well, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and be free. I'm not worried about nobody but myself. I am going to be free. Am I willing? You're willing, but you don't see how to do it yet. And what's preventing you from seeing how to do it yet is because your emotions are still zigzagging. And so emotionally and mentally, that mind, body, spirit connection and balance is what is really important for you at this time. And releasing the negative thoughts about yourself and your life, because there's a little bit of a blame game going on, whether it's somebody else blaming you. Some of you could be in some narcissistic situations, or gaslighting situations where somehow the tables got flipped back on you, and there's a part of you that's going, no way, no how, that's not true. But there's another part of you that has internalized some of that, and so there are those negative feelings about it. And you've got strength. I felt like I needed one more. So your path out, are you willing? Yes. And it's going to take strength on your part. Strength ruled by Leo. And strength meaning that whatever this pattern is that has built up over time, that's representing something big. Here you are smaller in relation to this big thing, this long-term job, relationship, family, whatever dynamic has got you, that is impeding your freedom, your creativity. Are you willing to handle it? And Spirit is saying, yes, you can do this. You are willing. But the key is going through a process of releasing anything that you have internalized about this situation, any truth that you know not to be true, but you've just said, hey, I can't buck it, I can't change it. That is what gets you through the obstacle. And that is where the hangman can actually be beneficial to you, because it gives you the perspective, a different perspective, a different take. Look at it from a different way. Turn it around. And play it out in your mind, or put it down on paper, journal. Here's some different alternatives that I may be able to take. You've got that 7 of Cups. So there's, in the 7 of Cups, there are options that you have to freedom, to get to freedom. Here's the goal. Those were your 2 strongest messages. I mean, look, again, different decks, strong message. So Spirit is saying, are you willing to do what it takes to be free, to be emotionally free, to be psychically free from whatever it is that is creating obstacles for you to move forward? And your higher self is what's standing in the background, or sitting in the background, saying yes, 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 because there is so much growth that is waiting for you, that multiplication. There's so many aspects of yourself creatively that are waiting to burst forth. Many of you have talents that are just waiting to be unleashed, to be unlocked, to be set free. And really, your key is to release those negative thoughts, release the extent to which you have internalized. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to put yourself first and release what's holding you back so that you can be free? Are you willing to be free? I say the answer is yes. Spirit says the answer is yes. And I wish you the absolute best on that. So, all right, you all, that's it for today. I hope that these readings, and again, some of you may feel called to more than one, but I really appreciate your time. I appreciate your support. Please spread the word. I'm trying to grow my channel. And when I get to 5,000, I'm going to give away 2 free readings. All right. My rates have gone up. I'm now at $160 a reading. I deserve it. I've worked hard for it. I give my all to this work. And so many of you, I thank you for the wonderful feedback that you've given me. Many of you have written testimonials on my website, for which I thank you. Many of you have just sent me informal emails, for which I thank you. This work is important. I take it seriously. I believe in you just as you believe in me. And together we are making a difference and building a good and wonderful community here. All right, so take good care. If you're interested in contacting me, remember again, like and subscribe, spread the word. If someone subscribes through you, let me know. Tell them to let me know they've subscribed through you, because I will also keep a tally of the people who are helping to build my channel. I feel if you're willing to invest in me, I will gladly invest in you. So your name goes into that pot for the free reading. What else do I have? If you want to get in touch with me for anything, you can always email me directly at touchbytarot@gmail.com. You can please visit my website if you want to book online or just learn more about me or see my blog. That is trulytouchedbytarot.com. Okay, www.trulytouchedbytarot, all one word together, .com. All right, take good care of yourselves. I'll see you soon.